Welcome, listeners, to another episode of Pathfinders, a hiking podcast with Brian. I'm your host, Brian Hudson, and today we're embarking on a journey of the mind. We're touching on the mental aspect of hiking, a topic that often gets overshadowed by discussions about physical fitness and gear. To help us explore this intriguing aspect, I've invited Allison Owens, a well-versed hiker and resilience expert, who's joining us to share her insights. Allison and I are both passionate about providing a fulfilling and educational experience for fellow hiking enthusiasts. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Brian. It's great to be here, and I'm excited to dive into a topic that's close to my heart. Resilience and mental focus on the trail are crucial but often underestimated components of hiking. Mental stamina can make the difference between a transformative hiking experience and a frustrating ordeal.
Exactly. We've all been there, right? You're facing a steep climb or rapidly changing weather, and your physical preparation seems to go out the window if your mindset doesn't hold up. Understanding the significance of mental strength in hiking can be transformative. Not only does it help you tackle immediate challenges, but it also enriches the entire hiking experience by enhancing your connection with nature.
That's so true. Many people think of hiking as purely a physical endeavor, focusing primarily on strengthening their legs and improving endurance. However, when you're a few miles into a strenuous hike and fatigue starts to settle in, it's your mental resilience that propels you forward. It's fascinating how the mind can drive the body to achieve much more than it thought possible, simply by altering focus and perception.
Let's delve deeper into developing mental toughness, which, as you mentioned, goes beyond physical grit. What are some strategies hikers can use to build that essential mental resilience?
Building mental toughness is akin to building muscles. You need to intentionally train your mind to focus and remain calm under pressure. One effective technique is visualization. Before hitting the trail, visualize the journey and the challenges you might face. This mental rehearsal prepares your brain to handle stressors more efficiently when they arise. Also, setting small, attainable goals throughout the hike can maintain motivation and prevent overwhelming feelings when the trail gets tough.
Visualization is such a powerful tool, and it's fascinating how it can prime our minds for success. Let's talk about focus, especially in demanding trail conditions where staying present matters. What practical exercises can help hikers hone this ability?
Maintaining focus in challenging conditions is indeed critical. Mindfulness plays a significant role here. Practicing mindfulness meditation, even for just 5 minutes a day, can enhance your ability to concentrate on the trail. Breathing exercises are beneficial as well. By focusing on your breath, you can recalibrate your attention and center your mind, especially when distractions mount up. Also, cultivating a sense of curiosity helps. When you actively engage with your surroundings, noticing details in nature, it roots you in the present moment and keeps your focus sharp.
You've touched on mindfulness, which is notoriously effective not just on trails but in everyday life. What would you say to hikers who might be skeptical about the role of mindfulness in enhancing trail experiences?
Skepticism is natural, especially if mindfulness is something new to you. However, it's worth exploring because its benefits are backed by research. Mindfulness enhances our sensory awareness, making hikes more enjoyable by deepening our engagement with nature. When you're mindfully present, you're more likely to notice the subtle beauty that makes each hike unique, which can cultivate a profound sense of appreciation and keep stress levels at bay.
Well put, and let's be honest, we've all been distracted by our thoughts while on a trail. So, mindfulness can bridge that gap beautifully between mind and environment. You've mentioned practical exercises for resilience too. What exercises do you recommend before and during hikes?
Certainly. Before a hike, cognitive exercises like puzzles or brain games can sharpen your mental acuity. They train your mind to shift between tasks and think critically, which is invaluable on the trail. During the hike, engage in progressive muscle relaxation. It involves tensing then relaxing different muscle groups, and it's remarkable for combating stress and keeping you physically and mentally relaxed. Grounding exercises are also beneficial. Pick a spot, close your eyes, and engage your senses. What do you hear, smell, or feel? It really cements your presence in the moment.
Those are excellent exercises. They provide both proactive and reactive strategies to meet mental challenges head-on. Let's not forget the long-distance hikes. Maintaining mental endurance over such expeditions can be especially demanding. What advice do you have to sustain mental calmness and clarity in these instances?
For long-distance hikes, consistency in mental practices is key. The stamina required isn't just physical, but deeply mental. Structured breaks are essential. Rather than pushing non-stop until you're exhausted, establish intervals of walking and resting. Use breaks to recalibrate with a brief meditation or body check-in. Listening to music or podcasts can also refresh your mind, keeping it engaged and uplifted through the repetition of long treks. Journaling during breaks to note experiences can also provide a mental release, freeing space for fresh thoughts and focus as you continue the hike.
Great points, Allison. Breaking the journey into intervals definitely helps in pacing both body and mind, allowing for a more rounded experience. How about coping with stress and distractions on the trail? What are some practical methods hikers can employ?
On the trail, stress and distractions are inevitable, but they can be managed effectively. First, acknowledge them rather than trying to ignore them. Naming the stressor takes its power away and lets you address it head-on. Then, focus on controlling what you can, whether adjusting your pace or pivoting with unforeseen changes like weather shifts. Engaging in deep breathing techniques is pivotal in regulating stress responses. A simple 4-7-8 technique, inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8, can bring calm in moments of overwhelm. Also, gratitude exercises refocus the mind on positive elements, which diminishes the sense of stress.
Acknowledging stressors as they pop up is an empowering approach, rather than feeling helpless. Let's tackle real-world examples next. Success stories that illustrate how mental endurance can redefine one's hiking experience. Can you share any inspiring stories?
Absolutely. One story that always inspires me is from a long-distance hiker who faced daunting weather conditions while navigating the Appalachian Trail. Despite the physical hardships, he credits his success to maintaining mental focus. He used visualization to imagine himself reaching each campground and employed regular mindfulness breaks to engage with his surroundings, rather than obsess over the next hill. It was this mental adaptability that saw him through one of the toughest seasons, underscoring how powerful the mind can be in physical pursuits.
That's truly inspiring and highlights how mental fortitude goes hand in hand with physical endurance. Do you have any parting advice for our listeners who might be eager to apply these insights to their next hiking adventure?
Certainly, start with small changes. Incorporate just one mental exercise daily, whether it's a short mindfulness session or a mental rehearsal before you hit the trails. Over time, these practices will feel more natural and greatly enhance your hiking experiences by not only preparing your body, but harmonizing your mental state. Remember, hiking is as much about the journey within as it is about the destinations you explore.
Absolutely. Even small, consistent efforts can lay the foundation for significant transformation. That brings us to the end of today's episode. Thanks to Allison for sharing such valuable insights. We've uncovered how mental resilience can redefine our adventures and augment our connections with the landscapes we traverse. We trust that you, our listeners, have gleaned practical advice. Today's takeaway: pick one mental exercise and make it part of your daily routine. Thanks for tuning in to Pathfinders, a hiking podcast with Brian. Until next time, let's hike smarter and stronger, one trail at a time.